Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Heaven on Earth. This is the Leo Mystic, and this is where I bring you the sacred mission of this week here on YouTube for the 9th of December until the 15th of December. It is time for truth. And that's the sacred mission of the week, to allow truths, new truths to come in. So prepare for the truth. And the reason I'm saying this is because, well, there's so much going on. We got Sun in Sag. That is the exploring of what is possible. Exploring new terrain. You know, oh my God, you know, we came out of the underworld. It's like exploring new terrain. It's like, let's get out. Let's explore new cultures, new territories, new religions. What is my place to this big cosmos? And then we have Mercury coming into Sagittarius as well. Now, that in of itself, I mean, whenever a sign or a planet comes into Sagittarius, it's not inherently that bad, but it is the, detriment of Mercury. So this means whatever we're going to speak out, whatever we're going to say, there's going to be a lot of over promising. There's going to be some people believing their own lies. And it's just like, we got to be careful. I sometimes feel this is a Mercury retrograde kind of aspect. So whatever you do there, whatever you hear there, say there. You just got to take it with just like a little grain of sand. Now, Moon is in Taurus. And so that in of itself, with Uranus being there, the new Earth, just like a redefining of what it means to live on this planet Earth and just coming together as a collective. Moon in Taurus normally is about safety, and it loves being there. But with that Uranus there, this is about, just never coming to that safety, learning to deal with the uncomfortable, becoming comfortable with the uncomfortable, our nervous system being triggered. And so obviously we're building up towards that full moon, which is coming on Thursday. So many days in my head. But Thursday, that's that full moon happening at 6:11 in the morning, at least in Antwerp. And that's going to be in Gemini. Now, what is happening, and I'm going to talk about that. It's Mercury, right, in Sagittarius, opposite Moon in Gemini. Mercury rather being there, and just like, this is about a truth. Who is right? And this is a new definition, and there's going to be a lot of talking, and there's going to be a lot of like people speaking up. And we got to look, Jupiter is in Capricorn, as we know. It is, as I said past week, this is time for us to come into our spiritual integrity. And, for me, Capricorn is the highest good of this planet Earth, at least. It's like to be on top and to be the force that is in control. And so Jupiter is trining over to Uranus. And so this is, all of this South Node 2 in Capricorn, Venus, Saturn, Pluto, all that Capricornian energy of the masculine, and I don't want to call it too much masculine, because it's just a controlling, dominating force that has to be exposed, that we have to go through, that we have to feel and see everywhere around us. And Pluto is just destroying it all. So we got to see how it is crumbling down. The forces that are in control are crumbling down. So now, but that being said, with so much Sagittarian energy and optimistic, and just like, we need practical stuff. And we can reap a lot of benefits. We can have these, what goes around comes around. And especially with Venus there, right? We got to pay attention for our relationships. This is where, are you integrity with yourself, the relationship with self, the relationship with your partner, and the relationship with all your friends and all the businesses. Okay, whatever is not in integrity, has to have a, I would say, 6 Sigma check. You know, where you're like, am I fucking serious that this is really what is the truth for myself, for this planet, for the universe? Because guess what? Uranus and Taurus trining Jupiter there in Capricorn is just gonna boom, destroy it all, because Pluto's in Capricorn as well. So we have to be, you know, we have to prepare ourselves for new truths. Venus is gonna conjunct Saturn. So this is a serious day that happens on Wednesday. At the same time also when Mars and Neptune are conjuncting. So this is a check-in of the feminine energy, of the receptive energy. Being in Capricorn, you know, it's like it's very receptive. And Pluto's there's just like it's an attraction of power. So there's tremendous power in you know, just being magnetic. But at the same time, you know, all with our Mars and Scorpio, there's 2 things going on. There's the love that I've been talking about that can really dominate and control. We can step into our power, right? That's one. It's the new love, the new earth, and just like these 2 streams that a lot of indigenous cultures have been talking about, that if we can step into that power, then we can heal the planet. And then there's that other stream, right, that goes into that materialism and just like controlling, dominating force, and they're just going to destroy the planet. It's a fact. It's known by indigenous, like science is proving it too. Doesn't necessarily agree with the future forecasts, but you can see it freaking coming. So, but that one force is in power, and on the other side, there's that controlling, dominating force that does not like the love to rule and just the rebellion and the community control and all of that stuff that's going to repress. And there's a pattern of rebuilding, reshaping, but it just going to happen again, as in like that happened in the Renaissance, that happened, you know, when with the Essenes, with the Cathars, and just the repression of the truth, a repression of the female. And this is that Mars in Scorpio, right, that sextiles Neptune, that has the potential to heal, that has the potential to act in a new spiritual way and heal its deep, dark shit, with Venus stepping into its integrity, a reset, especially when it like is in the midst of Saturn and Pluto. You will feel that like a wall hitting you, but it is for the good, and it is a reset of that magnetic feminine power. And this is where that Thursday with that full moon, there's so much going on. This is where is the masculine dominating force really going to restart that again and just like abuse women, abuse the feminine, and repress and be patriarchal and just control everyone and everything? Or can we heal? And this is why this full moon in Sag is so powerful, because this gives us the power to speak up for the future, especially with that Sagittarian quality with Mercury there, even if it's like a detriment. It is a dialogue of hope. Maybe that's even the sacred mission for this week, to give a dialogue of hope, because no one is going to benefit by speaking out what is wrong. I mean, we got to look at it, and we are being forced, so we can't deny that. but we know that we manifest what we speak out, and our language is powerful. So speaking a dialogue of hope is what is our strength with this full moon. But what you're going to see is this polarity, right, that is going to speak up, and it's going to be a high, intense dialogue. But what I'm pledging for is a healing. And this is that dialogue of, female circles and women's circles and men's circles. But what about sacred relationships and bringing these two circles together? We have to go beyond and I'm not saying like the female circles and the men's circles, they have to happen because there's still so much woundedness and still so much healing to be done with them, and they can support each other. But it's about freaking time that we mix and mingle, because we have to understand that a man is a woman and a woman is a man. We have to get beyond that, battle of the sexes. It's, that's what's true. Source does not make any difference, especially with Neptune there in the mix. And I think that's when on Saturday we have a grand trine at the exact 16 degrees between Neptune and Mars in Scorpio and that moon in Cancer, allowing us to come home to a new sacred form of relationships, healing the masculine, right? And a reset of the feminine. So I don't know about you, but this is a powerful week. That is, if you are doing the work to be fully aware, and if you watch this, you are, and you know your job, you know your spiritual integrity, and this is where you speak up. A dialogue of hope. Moon in Gemini, demanding for some practical steps and some concreteness, because with Mercury in Sag, we can be like, have these intuitive hits, but be so abstract. But the strength is just to be able to reach out a hand and give a dialogue of hope for every side, right? So tough times, but if you are in your power, these are very powerful times. A lot of good shit happening, trust me. If you're not, a lot of bad shit happen. Anyway, that's it for this week. Take care of that full moon, because it's intense. It's intense. So thank you so much for tuning in and for doing your job in the world, for bringing a dialogue of hope, and it matters. We can easily get caught up in this dialogue of, what I share doesn't matter, and I even believe that sometimes. And I have to, with all this Capricornian energy, I even have to look at myself and say, it doesn't all fucking matter, but it does, it does. It does. Every single person matters. So we can be hard on ourselves, but instead be practical and get some shit done. From love and play, always, from the new earth, and in your spiritual integrity. Here's to a dialogue of hope this week. Much love. See you next week. Bye-bye.